Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. So today I want to work on making some tags. And so what I want to do, I have these music sheets. They're a little bit old, so they're like if you crease them, it will break. So I was thinking of just backing it with a piece of my dyed papers, and this is linen paper, so it has that really nice texture to it. So I'm going to do this first, and then I have a whole bunch of different laces. I want to just cover it, and then I'm going to add some pinks to it and then cut it into tags. And I want these beauties to be my focal points. So let's start with backing this. So to start off here, I'm just lining it up in one of the corners, and I like to glue that down, and then I glue the other side down. I just find that to be the easiest way. So if you have any kind of music sheets, are great for this, or even if you have some interesting book pages, anything that you have, or even you could just do some stamping in the background also would be great to do. So now all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of glue, and I will say I'm using Art Glitter Glue, which is the brand Art Glitter. And as long as the fabric is a thin piece of lace like this, I find that this works just fine. If I use my double-sided sticky tape, this is too thin, so it will be sticky, through the lace. And now I'm just going to mark where I want to cut this to make my tags. Now for this first set of tags that I'm doing, I decided to make them 4 by 7, so they are a little larger, but these are bigger images, and I wanted my tags to be big enough. So I'm kind of switching the size here so that I can make them bigger. And also, just so you know, these will be available in my Etsy shop. So all of the tags that you see are going to be in my Etsy shop. And here I'm just lining up 2 of the corners to cut off. So I have my tag shape, and then I use that one as a template to cut the other ones. So they're all kind of matching and look the same. Just going to erase my pencil lines here. And now I'm going to add little pieces of lace. So the first one I added lace to an entire page, and then I cut it up. And now I am just adding to my tags. It's already cut up, tag shapes, and just adding my fabrics. So either way works. And actually, if you have just some strips or any kind of scraps, I think it actually looks better when you have a variety of different textures and fabrics down. So now I have this really delicate sari silk, and I'm just gluing the very edges just to hold it down, because I am going to go and do some sewing. But if you don't want to sew this, it would have been fine just to glue those edges just a little bit to get it to stick. Because once I put my focal point down, I'm going to glue it right on top, and I put quite a bit of glue. And for the focal points, I'm tearing. Now, when you're tearing something, the part that comes towards you, so you have the part that comes towards you and a part that goes back. The part that comes towards you is not going to have that white paper, on it. So that's something to keep in mind for when you are tearing your images. And now I'm just figuring out which image I want to go on which tag, and then I can kind of start playing around with extra pieces that I want to add. Now, when I glue my images down, because I'm just kind of playing around right now just to get an idea, but when I start gluing things down, one thing that is good to do is to just glue in the center. So like going across the center of my focal point, and that way I can slide my laces or extra pieces that I want underneath my focal point if I want. So that's another thing to just kind of keep in mind if you want to do it this way and play around with the laces after your image is down. But for now, I'm just playing around and kind of auditioning the pieces that I want to use here. So I'm going to play some music and continue. And if you want to skip to the end or you want to just go to part 2, I have the timestamp so you can skip to that part and see the second set of tags and how I put those together. Okay, so just to kind of recap what we did here, I started with these. So let's see. These were the book pages that most of these, well, I put a thin layer of lace. So you can see there's a thin layer of lace here, and then I just added a few pieces underneath my portrait and then added some embellishments on top. And then I did messy sewing around it. Now, before I laid my portrait and final things down, I did try to put this through the embossing machine. On this one, you couldn't really tell. On some of them, like once I got to these, you can see I embossed the tag and went over it with some ink, and then I put my, my fabric. So that's what I would say. If you want to do something like this, it would have shown up if I would have inked it first. But I was just kind of trying things as I went. And I just love them. I think they turned out really well. So here's another one. And of course I took some of the leftover pink from this one, the sheer pink here. And this is, I believe that's silk, I guess, like a sari silk. Very delicate. And I just kind of added some little pieces here. And if you take it and just kind of pull it, and all fabric is different, so it's good to kind of get the feel with, for how it tears and things that you can do with it. But I had this piece of trim that has sequins on it, so I cut that up, and then at the last minute I just decided to add some more blingy rhinestone things. I showed this one with the pink background. And I think this is my favorite one just because of the way all of the colors came out. I just like how it has the pink, and I don't know, there's something about it, the mix of colors there. It's my favorite. So you've got a little bit of the sheer pink here, just lots of fun textures going on. So that's the whole thing, just layer, layer, layer. And again, you can see the embossed paper underneath here. And then let's slide these over. Now for these, I started off by embossing and I inked first. I guess this is the one that you can see it the best on because the pink that I used is a little lighter. I just think they're so pretty. So after you get your basic, larger pieces down, if you have a little piece of trim or any kind of fancy embellished piece, you only need a tiny little chunk of it. This is kind of a large piece, but you can see here, this is a really small little piece that I added. So I will be back with part 2. I will be playing around with some blue colored, and I'll show you a little sample here. So this is what we're going to do, and we are going to play with smaller pieces of scraps, and we are kind of going to make a master board with these laces and fabrics and then cut them up. We're going to try to do it that way. So this is part 1. I'll be back for part 2, and we'll play around a little more with ways that you can use your more delicate fabrics. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you for part 2.